Good evening and welcome to the Wanda Lewis Show. So pleased that you could join us today. You're viewing in, you're on your iPads, laptops. We appreciate your continuously supporting us. Please feel free to call, to go to our YouTube listings and let us know what you think about the show. Very excited today to bring to you Mr. Tim English. Mr. English, welcome to the Wanda Lewis Show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Excellent. We're so glad you could come down. Mr. English is the Regional Administrator for the United States Department of Agriculture's Food and Nutrition Services Program. Did I get all of that out?
You did. That's correct. You got it.
Great. This gentleman is impacting the way our children eat, the way that we are eating. Actually, even the food that is brought to you from farms and manufacturing plants, it's a very synergistic kind of a system. And what we're asking Mr. English to, may I call you Tim?
Tim is great.
We're asking Tim today to do is just let us know a little bit about the initiatives that are going on with this government regulated agency and how really in our own backyards, you're doing amazing things, bringing healthy food to the communities. So welcome.
Well, thank you very much. And I'm so glad to be here. And it's always great to be able to talk about USDA's nutrition assistance programs because the Food and Nutrition Service really does work in every community in the country,
yes.
in Chicago, around Illinois. And our programs work to fight hunger and improve nutrition everywhere. And there are 15 different nutrition assistance programs that we administer. So I'll start by talking about one of the big initiatives that we've been working on, and it's implementing what's called the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act.
Okay.
And it's all about bringing healthier meals to kids in school, because really nothing's more important than our kids and the health of our kids. So what we've been doing is making those menus in schools healthier.
Yes.
So kids are eating more fruits and vegetables, more whole grains, more lean proteins, low-fat dairy, and at the same time they're getting less sugar, less sodium, and less fat.
Excellent.
So this year we've started a new part of implementing that law called our Smart Snacks rule.
Okay.
And what that does is apply those same healthier standards to all of the foods that are purchased during the school day. So the vending machines, the school store, that type of thing, those foods that are sold a la carte in the lunch line. So we're really excited that kids are eating healthier as a result of these changes. And we have over 90% of schools have reported that they've successfully implemented these new standards.
Wow, that sounds very much like a successful campaign. It sounds like there has been just a little bit of resistance, though, have I read in the news, Tim, as far as welcoming a healthy change and forcing people to change their habits.
Right, well, it's a change. Anytime you make a change, whether it's something you're eating or exercising, whatever, it's hard and it's a challenge. So it's important to recognize that there's support there for those schools. So I talked about less than 10% that still haven't been certified for the new standards. There's lots of support out there. It's a bit of a learning curve. We understand that. So there's resources from the state agency in Illinois, the Illinois State Board of Education. Has gone out and done training. They have lots of web training resources available.
Excellent.
And USDA also has a number of resources that are available online. We've got toolkits that schools can download.
Great.
So where there are challenges, we want to hear where they are because there's help there.
Excellent, excellent. So is there a website that you can refer our listeners to and our viewers?
I would say the USDA website, USDA Food and Nutrition Service website is a great place. Look for school meals there.
Yes.
Lots of links there, and it'll also connect you to the state agencies that run the program as well.
Perfect. I understand that you also work with the SNAP program or the LINK program.
That's
correct.
correct.
Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing on those initiatives and how it affects the community.
Absolutely. So the SNAP program, as you probably know, is the largest of USDA's food assistance programs. And we're reaching over 80% of the people that are eligible for the program right now.
Yes.
But it's also about encouraging healthier eating.
Yes.
And we've got one of our initiatives where we're focusing on getting more farmers markets in the programs.
Great.
And direct marketing farmers so that people with their link card
Yes.
in Illinois can use those benefits to purchase fresh fruits and vegetables and other items at the farmers markets.
Excellent.
And another interesting thing about that I'll mention is there are a number of projects around the country and one right here in Chicago and in Illinois where they have incentives where if you use your SNAP benefits to purchase those healthy fruits and vegetables
Yes.
at the farmers market, you'll get a coupon that will actually double your purchase. So if
Wow.
you say use your SNAP benefits for $10, you'll get a coupon that you can use for $10 of additional items at the farmers market. So it's really
Excellent.
promoting the idea of eating healthier,
Yes.
becoming more familiar with those healthy food items.
Yes.
Just to
This is
mention on the
great.
farmers market,
Yes.
it may be new to people. So a number of these markets will actually have recipes and they'll have food demonstrations.
That is
So
awesome.
if you've never seen how to prepare something before, you can get a recipe that you can walk away with and you can actually see it and taste it at the market. So it's really exciting.
That is exciting, and it's such a hands-on approach to, again, affecting the community. And I know that I mentioned to you before that I've met Mr. Alan Shannon from the Good Greens program.
Right.
And what that is a group of folks such as myself who are in food manufacturing who come together to share best practices. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Good Greens
Yes,
program?
thank you so much for
Sure,
asking about
sure.
Good Greens. We're very proud of it.
Yes.
Alan's our public affairs
Yes.
director
Yes.
in the regional office. And what it is FNS facilitates getting together a variety of individuals and organizations who are dedicated to developing and promoting and sustaining local food systems,
Yes.
healthier eating, healthier communities.
Great.
And it's really interesting because it's a great collaboration that it works at so many different levels, as you mentioned. It's the federal level, it's states, it's local, it's grassroots, community organizations, it's academics, and with this idea that local food systems are important to the health of our communities.
Absolutely.
Not only the health of the people eating those foods,
Yes.
but to the health of the community itself in
Right.
terms of economic development, job creation, a sense of community, a sense of pride in,
Right.
in food being developed in the community, whether it's urban farming, urban gardening, and those things finding their ways to the farmers markets for people to consume. Another really interesting thing with that local production
Yes.
is our farm to school effort, where we're encouraging that connection between local farmers into the school food program to support that healthier eating.
Wow, Tim, I am getting like the little message that we're running out of time, but I'm so grateful that you came down today. Can I invite you back? May we invite you back
Absolutely.
to tell our audience much more about what you're doing? And again, how can you be reached or the agency be reached?
The USDA Food and Nutrition Service website
Excellent.
would be the best place to reach us.
Okay.
I'm the regional administrator of the Midwest region, so
Great. Yeah.
my contact information would be there.
Excellent. We're so pleased that you came down. Again, reach out to me. I'd love to connect you to Tim. We're looking to really make a difference in the community, making sure we have better health outputs. We want to eradicate diabetes, hypertension, right? High cholesterol. Let's eat healthier and live healthier, and we'll just have healthier communities. Let's start with
Absolutely.
there. You parents, I mean, get those potato chips out of those kids' hands too. Okay, Tim. Well, thank you for coming
Thank you
down.
so much. It
Really
was a
appreciate
pleasure.
it. Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right, and we'll be right back with the Wanda Lewis Show. Mr. Tim English. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I feel great. Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah. Oh, I feel great. Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to the Wanda Lewis Show. So pleased that you're out there joining me, joining my guests. Just want to make sure you know that you're appreciated. Just listen to that song, Be Optimistic, You Can Win, as long as you keep your head to the sky. I'm sure I said it 10,000 times, but I'll say it again. I sang with the group Sounds of Blackness and had the honor and pleasure of singing with musicians such as Prince, Luther Vandross, Stevie Wonder. Won a few Grammys, spent some time overseas, but I always say we as human beings share so much in common. We all want to love, we want to be loved, and we want to find something we can believe in. And with that, I want to go ahead and segue over to our next guest, Mrs. LaShonda Curry.
Thanks for having me, Wanda.
She did say that she goes by a few names, so I'm going to let you go ahead and give a shout out to those who might know you as, what, Shawnee?
Shawnee, yeah. Okay. A lot of people know me as Shawnee. So all one person, LaShonda Shawnee Curry, yes, is my name that appears on the ballot for February 24th.
This is so exciting. We're so pleased that you could come down and
Thanks
share
for having
with
me.
The listening audience viewing. Isn't it amazing what technology can do?
It is pretty amazing.
LaShonda is running for
Alderman.
7th Ward Alderman.
Yes.
In the city of Chicago.
In the city of Chicago.
You just deserve a hand just for taking on such a task. But I am just so glad you could come down and share with us and let us know why you're running. Give us a little bit of your background.
Okay.
This is your platform.
You
take it and do what you need to do.
Thank you. So I want to start off by saying why I'm running. I'm really running because I want to bring democracy back to the people of the 7th Ward. Okay. Particularly because a lot of legislation, policy, and budgeting decisions are made without the input of the people, the taxpayers. And so I want to be that voice for the people, to be able to empower them to have a voice and a say in policy and in decision making. Okay. And so I'm really running. I think that I share very common values with my neighbors. We all want the same thing, our slice of the American pie. We want to live in a decent, clean, safe neighborhood. Yes. We want quality schools. We want accessibility to things in our community, yes, that provide an economic base and that meet our needs. And we also want to make sure that we live in a community where people know each other and there is a sense of collaboration and community looking out for each other. And so I believe that because I share those very similar values to my neighbors, that I am one of the best candidates to serve the people of the 7th Ward.
What are the boundaries of the 7th Ward geographically?
Okay, the 7th Ward begins at 71st and Yates. Okay. It goes all the way down to 107th and Bensley. So when you think far east, southeast side, yes, that is the 7th Ward. Picks up Jeffrey Boulevard at about 91st Street and continues it on. But it's 46 precincts, and begins at 71st and stops at 107th. So it's a pretty large
wow,
landmass.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now, we know, the folks from Chicago know that that's been a fairly controversial ward.
Yes.
So we would be remiss if we did not mention your predecessors.
Yes.
May I ask you to expound upon that?
So my predecessors are, yes, Sandy Jackson and William Beavers.
Correct.
Both provided leadership to the ward for several terms. And I'm certain that they did the best that they could while they were in office. However, the residents of the community, if you're knocking doors or you're talking to people, they feel disenfranchised. They feel like they've been marginalized. They are very disappointed in previous leadership. Yes. And I think that that has a lot to do with how city services were delivered in the ward. And also the lack of economic infrastructure to the ward. And so I think those things have made residents have a lot of apathy. Yes. And they are very discontent. And so they're looking for new leadership. They're looking for leadership with a vision,
Yes.
and I believe that I am that leadership.
Excellent.
New, I am not obligated to anyone except for the people of the 7th Ward. I am an independent thinker. I am a visionary person, and I believe that I have those skills and those qualifications to bring to the people of the 7th Ward.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So what are your qualifications? What is your background, if I
My
may?
background. So I get that question a lot. What qualifies you to, to be alderman of the 7th Ward?
You live there.
Yeah, I do.
One.
Number
Okay.
one. That's number one. 17 years.
Okay.
And that alone, that qualifies me. 17 years, not just living there, but also serving the people of the community.
Okay.
I am the founder and organizer of the Crandon Avenue Block Club Association. Like many people, sometimes we move into a community and we don't know all of the ills of that community. And then suddenly we're thrust into a position where we have to make a decision if we're going to stay or if we're going to leave. And I made the decision to stay and to raise my family there. But it required me to step outside of my comfort zone and to begin to organize my neighbors to combat the gang and drug problems that were clearly prevalent in our community. And we've successfully been able to do that under my leadership. And so I am committed to the community of the 7th Ward. In terms of my professional background, I am an educator with Chicago Public Schools. I've been a classroom teacher for about 10 years. The last 2 years have been out of the classroom in a more administrative role, working specifically with principals. So I bring that experience as an educator to the table. I know how to look at a problem and diagnose it. I know how to assess. I know how to come up with solutions and be a problem solver, as well as collaborate with many different people to bring out the best possible outcome. I also previously was director of a human services program that was aimed at pregnancy prevention among teen moms.
That's awesome.
And that was awesome work.
Yes.
I loved it, and so it gives me that background of human services, how programs should be effectively and efficiently delivered. As well as my last 8 years actually, have been around developing a program for young African American girls ages 8 to 18. It's called SIMSA, Safe in My Sister's Arms.
Wow.
And it is now under my leadership and my co-director's leadership in 4 cities. It's in Chicago, Rockford, DeKalb, Indianapolis, and Muskegon, Michigan. And so we've been able to develop a model that we can literally take out of any community in Chicago, place it in a different community, and it be successful. And so it's about mentorship, and it's about speaking to anti-violence and making sure that we're equipping our children with the skills to be able to survive, not only survive out here, but be equipped to deal with some of the issues that challenge them every single day as they go to school. And so we want to make sure that we're providing our children with a sense of who they are.
Yes.
But also making sure that we provide them with the skills to be able to resolve conflict in a peaceful manner.
Absolutely.
And so we've been working 8 years really hard at that, and we've had a really successful track record.
Sounds like you are prepared to address many of these concerns and needs of the community. If you could delineate them, I think I saw on your website, crime, education.
Yes.
What are those other salient points and needs that you see in the community that you feel you can address? And we're running out of time, so I want to give you this platform.
So talking to the residents, you know, everything is about the people.
Yes.
They are very clear. City services, the effective and efficient delivery of city services is a major problem.
Yes.
Public safety, education, and economic and workforce development, huge issues. So we have a lot to do, but I believe that my leadership in office, we will develop a 4-year strategic economic development plan for the ward, and I'll do that in conjunction with the people. So often the people are left out of the process, and I want to give them a voice in the process. So we're also going to do participatory budgeting, which is a process that has been implemented in wards on the north side and has been very successful. People deserve a say in what we do with that $1.3 million that each ward receives.
Excellent. Okay, Ms. Curry.
Yes.
How can your constituents find you? What is your website address?
Well, they can find me a couple of different ways. They can come to the office, which is at 1729 East 71st Street, the corner of 71st and Ridgeland. They can also contact me via Gmail, LaShonda LaShondaCurry7th@gmail.com,
Great.
or they can look us up on the website,
Okay.
LaShondaCurry7th.com.
All right. And on the ballot?
I am punch number 53.
Okay.
So if it's real change, you want to see punch 53.
Excellent. Now let's show the audience. Don't forget the space. Don't forget this initiative, these initiatives. And remember, accountability is key. So I want to thank you for coming down. I wish we had more time.
Thank you. I appreciate the
Okay.
time.
It's been a pleasure to meet you, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. And we'll have to have you back on once you're in that
Absolutely.
seat.
That's
now.
right.
Don't forget about us.
I won't.
Okay. All right. Thank you once again, Mrs. LaShonda Curry.
Yes.
Running for aldermanic position in the 7th Ward. So I hope you get it. It sounds like you can make some change happen.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent. If you don't mind staying with me,
Yeah.
this is the time of our show when I get to do just a little bit of talking and hopefully more sharing Wanda's wisdom. So it sounds like we have a lot of wise folks around us, and that's what life should be about, learning and sharing, correct?
Correct.
So I was talking today to some people, my fiance and others, about the Jackie Robinson Little League situation. And I'm just going to take a few minutes to say what a travesty that situation is when our young black males who are in organized sports, who have come together to build team, let's say camaraderie, to have a goal that is common. I play sports, and so yeah, it does build so much character, and then to have those young men stripped of their championship because of what perhaps others have done. Now, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to ask for a reverse on that decision, but what I'm asking us all to do as parents, as members of the village, to know that those children were, yes, catapulted into the spotlight. They were given a task and they made it happen. And right now we have so many geographic boundaries that are changing within the city of Chicago based on gentrification, based on the fact that many families have been displaced from, let's say, the inner city to the suburbs because of these beautiful new high-rises that we have. I, again, am not in a position to judge, but I am hoping that we will encourage those children, number one, to follow the rules. And if those rules were pretty static, rules being geographic boundaries and then age, as far as their ability to qualify to play, then let's teach our children that there is accountability and that there will be consequences for breaking the rules. But I also want to encourage those who made that decision to look at the self-esteem, look at the young men who really had a lot of pride in that, and let's continue to encourage them so that they won't be discouraged and now think, okay, great, perhaps I should go on the street corner and congregate with the gang members in my community. Young men, stay encouraged. Parents, keep pushing. My family, my parents have just been featured in the Chicago Tribune a couple of weeks ago in honor of my brother, Major General Ronald F. Lewis, who now is the #3 man at the Department of Defense. Yes, I said, I was like, wow, with all the unrest that's going on, we want to protect his, I guess, the confidentiality of that position, but we're proud. We're proud of my brother, Attorney Rodney Lewis, who's a partner at his firm, my brother Roderick Lewis, who's a teacher and a thespian and works with kids, and my other brother Richard, my sister, PhD, Reverend Dr. Jackie Lewis. My parents taught us that we could make it happen, that we could get together with each other and create synergies and learn from each other. That's what those kids have done on that team. Team Jackie Robinson. I want to again encourage you parents to keep your children focused on the positive. Yes, teach them the lesson that we all have to learn, that we must make good choices and that there are consequences for the poor choices that we make, but then they can continue to strive for more, because as long as they keep their head to the sky, they can win. Absolutely. Be optimistic, you beautiful young men out there. We love you. And thank you. We'll be right back. summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, yeah, and the cotton is high. Your daddy is rich, ooh, and your mama's good looking. Yes. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing, wings outstretched, then you fly to the sky. Oh, but until that morning, there is nothing can harm you. With your daddy and mommy standing by. Oh, summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, yes, and the cotton is high. Your daddy is rich, ooh, and your mama's, she's so